But we have guests with us to run us through the last half hour of trade. We have Mehrbon Irani, who joins us in our studio. Kunal as well is back with us. Mehrbon, let me get your view first on this entire Vedanta saga that's really playing out. What's your take on it?
Honestly, I remain very negative on this sector, on this company's case. Certainly no. I think the talks now of a reverse merger with Hindustan Zinc, that's the only stock in the ferrous, non-ferrous space, Hindustan Zinc, I like at the present valuation. But now I think let the events span themselves out and let us not make any call. On the whole, I think this was supposed to happen. Only the reverse merger is something which we need to watch out for as to exactly what happens.
Okay. Hi, Mehrbon. Afternoon. You know, we just heard from Nimesh where he said that a lot of people are talking about nibbling into the markets at these levels. Is that what you're recommending to your investors as well? And if yes, what are the pockets of value that you see now?
Sonia, I think somewhere in March I have been stating, and people have been saying that I'm sounding very negative. I stated that even a year down the line, I don't see more than 25% of the market higher than where they are. I think today, between March and now, I think 95% of stocks are much below where they were in March. And as far as nibbling goes, what Nimesh was stating, my personal view was that as a trader, if you are going to trade in the market...
No, as an investor. As an investor is my question. As an
investor, as a trader, I would use the word first, in less than a sentence, I will say that you need to buy when there is complete disillusionment in the market. That possibly could happen at 77 or 7800, which Nimesh was stating. As an investor, I think it's foolhardy, it's stupid to try and predict whether we'll go below 7800 or 7600. You need to have your own stocks ready. Buy when the level comes. Typical example, IndusInd Bank. 925, 940, 790, 800. Again, it's back to 800. That's the stock you go and buy. Will it come down by 5% more? Who cares? This is a stock which is going to be a 1,000 rupee stock in the next 1 year. Similarly, Dalmia Bharat, a stock which was just, I think, 600 odd rupees just a few days ago, down by 100 rupees. Go and buy the stock. I think that is the top gainer today in the market. So that is the way one should be looking at it. You need to know what you actually wanted to own. Oh, I missed out. You have a price at which I buy, and when that price comes, which is definitely possible in quite a few stocks, because if there is some selling and no buying in the market, stocks could see abnormally low levels also. But on the whole, I think in the short run remain negative on the market, but there could be stocks which could be available at the right valuations. Just go and buy, irrespective of how much more the Nifty will fall. So I would say pockets-wise, I think the first half of this fiscal year is going to be a washout for Indian corporates. As far as the overall markets goes, I have stated that all those people who use the word consolidation are playing very diplomatic. Indian markets never consolidate. They either go up or come down. We went from 5,200 to 9,100. Now we have 9,100 is 8,000. Whether we go to 7,200, 7,600, 7,800, all people will sound more and more negative. At that time, I personally feel quite a few stocks will become attractive. I personally like the cement stocks. I think despite the first quarter, not going to be very good in terms of volumes. I think overall, if you believe that ultimately one finds the economy will rebound, I think cement stock should do well. In that, our best bet is Dalmia Bharat.
All right, point again as well, Mehrbon. They proved it in their last numbers. So we'll be looking more at mid-cap cement, I believe, rather than the large-cap stocks of ACC Ambuja. You'll be looking at more mid-cap cement?
I would say yes, because a little relatively under-owned. As far as Dalmia Bharat goes, if one goes and looks at the fundamentals, I think it was an 8 million ton company, has become a 23 million ton company.
Correct.
And the equity has not gone up. They have the leverage that as and when the economy rebounds, demand picks up, they have it in them to supply without any sort of stress in the balance sheet. So according to me, the profitability of this company should only improve. We have a research report on this company, clear disclosure, and we have a target of 900 rupees for this stock in the next 12 months.
All right, then that's the view coming in on Dalmia Bharat as well. I'll take that point of Mehrbon as well, because that one gave very, very phenomenal numbers. Exposure to the east of the country as well, helping them. But let's get Sudeep into this conversation. Sudeep, good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining in. Let's get your view in terms of the Bank Nifty. Now, that's been a big outperformer today. It's higher by close to around 100 points, though the Nifty is still struggling. Do you believe that the Bank Nifty has bottomed out after that big 3,500 point cut that we have seen from the peak of this year?
Well, definitely. I think, look, the bank, whatever possible bad news possible was there in the bank Nifty yesterday. Economy was not doing anything great. The asset quality was under tremendous pressure. They never got a great, encouragement from the RBI in terms of spread or the net interest spread. So overall, I think they were out. The positive debt restructuring related pronouncement by RBI definitely helps the banks to put pressure on the borrowers to behave or fall in line. Otherwise, their companies, they will probably lose their shareholding and management control. This is a very welcome step from the banking industry point of view for handling the asset quality and the NPA menace. So I think it's a great positive, and probably from here on we can see a definite momentum building up in the banking stocks. But I'll still be cautious on the PSU banking pack. I think still the economy has to very clearly start performing. CapEx cycle has to start coming back. Then only we will be confident on value picking on the PSU banking space. But as far as private sector large cap banks are concerned, we continue to remain positive. I think it's a good opportunity to start buying into large cap private sector banks.
Okay, so good opportunity to start buying into large cap private sector banks. We'll come to that in a bit. There's some news flow on Unitech. The company says they did not receive the NCDRC, which is the National Consumer Disputes Commission. They didn't receive that order. Remember, this is with respect to the order that reports indicate that they got an order from the National Consumer Forum with regards to that property vistas which they have in Gurgaon. They've been slapped with a penalty that they have to pay to the consumers of that property because of a delay of that project. Remember, the consumers had booked that project way back in 2010. Unitech had said they would deliver it by 2013, but nothing has come through till 2015. So now they have to go ahead and make a 12% penalty payment. However, the management says that they will take a due course of action only when they receive that final order. But Sudeep, you were telling us about private sector banks. The two stocks that have gotten hit the hardest in this short bear trend has been ICICI Bank and Tata Motors. Both those stocks are down 20% from their all-time highs. Would you buy both these names at this point, or do you think that one should wait to get better levels?
Well, I think, ICICI Bank I'll definitely buy. I think it's a great opportunity to start buying into ICICI Bank. If I have $100 to buy ICICI Bank, probably I'll go ahead and buy $50 worth of ICICI Bank today and wait for, the market to kind of move before I spend the another 50 buying ICICI Bank. But definitely I'll start buying. Tata Motors, I'll be still a bit cautious. Indian operations are not doing anything great. JLR, there are certain slowdown issues in China. Remember, China was a great market for JLR. So there are certain concerns on the volume and the numbers in China. So I'll be a bit cautious on Tata Motors and probably, watch some more time before I start buying Tata Motors.
All right, then just let's pull up a couple of stocks. Pull up Cipla. That stock seems to have moved to the low point of the day. It's down by close to around 4%, and 1% of those losses, in fact, have come just in the last 20 minutes. But also pull up Biocon. I think that one is moving higher. It's higher by close to around 4.5% in otherwise a very, very weak market. And another stock that I was spotting out is APB India. Let's just pull up that stock as well. It seems to have spiked up, and even Apollo Tyres, after being down by more than 10%, it's pulled back close to around 2.5% from the day's low. Allahabad Bank as well seems to have spiked up in the last few minutes. Mehrboon, let me get you in terms of pharma stocks. Anything you like from the broader market, something like an Aurobindo Pharma, Biocon? Biocon's doing very well in today's trading session.
No, honestly, no. I still feel the valuations on the whole, as far as the entire sector goes, and I've been stating it for quite some time, are extremely rich, because the fact is, as an investor, if I put in money and see the stock moving sideways here and there, at the end of 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, if I find the stock at most at the same level, it doesn't make sense. I think I have the same view for otherwise a favorite stock of mine, Sun Pharma. I still feel valuation-wise it can't be defended at the present price, and even possibly a Lupin. And look at the way the stocks have come down. Now, should one buy just because they come down? They are great companies. The fact is, if the stocks lose another 10%, I don't think it's going to be easy to defend the valuations even at that particular price. So somewhere on the line where you are not seeing a return of more than 10, 15, 20% over the next 12 months, despite the correction of the share prices, I don't think it warrants a buy recommendation at the moment.
Mehboob, you were talking a lot about cement.